Welcome back to my channel. This is basically part 2 of my goal building journey for this month into honestly probably mid-August. So if you haven't noticed, I've been making videos. The last few ones have been about trying to reach my goals. So the last one you saw was me applying for jobs and how I applied it using AI. This video is more about me trying to save money and how I'm using a budget tracker to really check my expenses and see how much money I'm actually saving when I am making money for my job and how much I'm actually spending every month. Because I never know what I'm paying for, or I do, but everything is automated. So for me, when I do my rent, my bills, or even when I go out on transportation, it's all automated for me. So I don't actually know how much of it I'm taking out per month, at least off the top of my head. Like you can ask me how much you're making and I'd be like, okay, this much. But you couldn't ask me how much you're making in expenses total, because I'll be like, I don't know. Like people gas came and went and I could tell you I probably paid like $40, but if you asked me 2 months ago how much I spent, I wouldn't have told you because I did not look at that number, nor did I even think twice, because it just gets taken automatically out of my account, which is great because I have the money, but also I just don't think about it. And I do want to like look into how much I am approximately spending per month, because obviously these numbers fluctuate other than my rent. It did increase a little bit because it's signed new lease this year, so we're just gonna look into that. But this video would be more of a two-parter. The first part is me looking into how much I spent based on how much I make per month after taxes, unfortunately. And then the second video is gonna be me trying to find out how much I'm gonna save per month, which I'm already doing, but it'll be more of me actually showing off the bank I use, what their APY is, I think, and just telling you like, oh, this is how much money I put towards my savings account, since they usually have a really high interest rate per month at the same time. So once again, I am literally going into Notion because they are a lot easier to use than Excel. In my Notion board, I have a whole nother template once again, and I have not touched it whatsoever because one, I'm using Notion realistically for the first time since this journey, because it was either this or Excel, and I'm not making this by hand. I watch other people's videos for years about how they budget and how they have a whole Excel template. I don't want to touch Excel. For one, I don't want to pay for a Microsoft program, and two, I know I won't be consistent, especially if I'm just doing it for this month, and this is just easier to look at on the web versus having an app located somewhere on my computer taking up all my space. So this is one of their templates that they have. It is called Cash Flow. I'm using this one specifically. They have a lot of free templates, but this one tracks your income and it tracks the expenses of each month and it does the math for you. So it tells you how much money you're spending, how much you're making, and how much you have left over, which is really nice because honestly, I don't want to have to figure that out myself. So it is a monthly income, so I would have to figure out like how much I'm making per month. So right now, this is the income portion, and it goes from your name, the title or the tag of it, the amount, and direction, which I guess is the company. I don't know what this links to, but we don't need this part. We honestly just need the amount, and it's in pounds for some reason, but I'm just gonna have that in dollars because obviously I live in America. So we're gonna have like this. So how much I make per month. So in all transparency, I make approximately $88,000 per year with like pre-tax. And then after tax is anywhere from like 67 to probably 70K, right, per year, because Chicago has really high taxes in all categories for no reason whatsoever. So I don't feel like I'm making a lot of money these days. I just feel like I'm losing a lot more when I find out how much I'm supposed to be making. So approximately I make per paycheck $2,500 per paycheck. So if I was to round up, it would actually be a little bit over 4K. So it would be actually 5K. So I'm just gonna add that to my amount. So it would actually be around 5K per month, which is actually pretty good for my standards since I don't actually, this is my only income for the most part. Now this includes, or this is taken out of some things part of my Roth IRA that I put towards every month. We'll get to all of that. I just realized I'm going too fast. But this is how much I make after taxes, right? This is a nice rounded number. I'm going just to pretend that's a dollar sign because I don't want to change it because I don't want to waste time. But for savings, I do save every month. I will do this last though, just because I don't want to ruin this number real quick. And I just want to go straight into this fixed cost. Oh my gosh. Every time I think I know English. So right here is a rent. It's a fixed cost. So monthly I pay $11.25 for my rent. And this is in dollars. I don't have insurance. I don't have any insurance. I don't have renter's insurance just because I did and then it expired and I just never renewed it. Medical insurance, I get it through my company and I don't remember how much I'm paying per month because I got like the lowest amount. So I'm really paying like $1 per month, which I don't really even count towards anything. And then I do have dental insurance and I do have vision insurance, but I pay those on like a yearly basis because I have Humana, and Humana has the option to pay yearly or monthly. And technically, I think combined with vision and dental is $600 a year. So if I divide that by 12, it'll be like, I don't remember. I need a calculator, but I pay like $600 per year, and I divide that by 12. And this is like yearly too, so. And I pay like $50 per. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot. But I do pay like $50 per year. And I don't even realize that because I'm paying it yearly, so I don't even feel the cost leaving my account. All right, Netflix. I don't own any streaming services. I tend to watch all my shows through web basing, so that is where I get my money out of. Utilities. I can spell utilities. This varies depending on how much I actually use the utilities. Oh my gosh, okay. And this is gonna cover gas and electric. So gas and electric can anywhere be like $40 each. So I'm gonna say like $80 here, just because it does vary based on how much I'm actually using it. So we're just gonna say $80 because I don't remember. And then another fixed cost that I would pay for, Wi-Fi. It's actually so funny because my Wi-Fi bill literally just increased this year. I had Xfinity for the last 2 years, and that was like $35 for 2 years per month. It just increased today because my 2-year period, and now I'm paying like $51. So, but I don't have a backup Wi-Fi, so I will be paying this until I figure out if I have another cheaper option. But for now, we're keeping Xfinity. And then my other bill that I'm paying is, I don't really think I'm paying anything else. I do take the bus to work sometimes if I'm going out, but that's up in the air. I wouldn't say that's a fixed cost. It's more of whenever I feel like it. But these are the main 4 things I pay for. It's my rent, my insurance, utilities, and then my Wi-Fi. So I think that's all I really have going for me right now per month, at least as a fixed cost. Oh wait, I do have one more. This isn't really a fixed cost, but something I just do automate every month. So in my mind, it's fixed cost. I do also investing per month. It just gets taken straight out of my account. This is through like my investing app, not through work or anything. And I put it through, I don't use Robinhood, I use like some other investing app. I put like $100 down for it every month just to invest. It's supposed to go towards my traditional IRA. It's not for some reason. It's going through a whole different section, but I still invest $100 per month to buy stock, and then I just use it and I get like returns, and I just keep reinvesting it back into the same stocks. But yeah, it is taken out of my account straight into here. So that's pretty cool. And I think this is actually how much I'm actually spending every month. That's fixed, doesn't really change. And that's what I have. So if we go back up to, let's say, base spending, I don't think I eat lunch that many times. But I will say one of the things I spend the most money on is groceries and eating out. I don't actually eat out in like actually natural restaurants. I just like go to like the convenience store and buy snacks a lot. So then I would say groceries per month could be $100 by itself, and then eating out could honestly be like $40 by itself, just because they tend to add up. So that would be $140, I would say, per month I am spending, give or take a month, right? Give or take a month, I am spending around $140. And that's just for myself. Like by myself, I could honestly easily lower it. It's just kind of a habit of mine to go and get like a bag of chips every now and again. Those add up. Another base spending that I would say is Ubers. I tend to Uber, especially if I'm going to see someone who lives like probably up north or anything, or I guess I could just say ride share, right? Because it's all Ubers. But those Ubers can be like $20 usually, and on a given month I'm probably taking an Uber like less than once a week, and they're each like $20 because I always go for like the cheapest option. So that would be like two times 4 is 80. So I would say $80. This isn't realistic. I'm not actually paying like $80 a month for rideshare. But if I was hanging out with someone once a week and they only lived up north, which most of my friends do, I would probably be paying for an Uber versus paying for public transportation just because it's quicker. And that would be like $80 in a total. And that's just once a week, like $20 once a week seeing them. So then now it'll be like public transportation. And this is where it gets a little bit lower. Each ride that I take is $2.50 in Chicago. But if you use our card system, which is a Venture card, you can get like $5 for a day. And I don't take public transportation a lot. Like I don't even take it once a week. I really take like once or twice a month. So max, I'm probably paying like $10 a month, just because I'm paying for it like for 2 days. And that's just like one day here, one day there, and it's both in like, let's say June. So right now these is my main max spendings that I'm doing. I don't think I'm paying for a lot of stuff. Buying outside objects like maybe little trinkets or buying packages isn't really part of my spending. I will say I had to buy a little bit of packages for last month, but it was for like a friend's birthday. So that isn't a typical spending of mine, and that money would usually be saved. So I'm not going to add it since I want this to be a typical month for me. So already I am losing $250, okay? Pretend that's a dollar sign. And already I'm spending every month $1,406 that I can't change. And then now we're going to go to savings. And saving, I wouldn't really say it's a rainy day saving. I would just call it savings for sure. We're going to keep it as rainy day. So every paycheck, I actually do take out a certain amount of money towards my paycheck into my savings account. I think it's supposed to be like 50%. I increased it a little bit now. So I'm just gonna put in, so each paycheck is around $2,500, and then half of that, it's like $1,200. I don't know. Let me do a calculator math again. This divided by 2. Okay, $1,250. So, and that's twice. Okay, so I don't know why I did the math. Anyway, it'll be like $1,250. So I'm saving like $1,250 each paycheck, and then times that by 2 will be literally 2,500. And then I have a secondary savings. I'm gonna call this my monthly savings, where I have more money in my checking account than I do in my savings account. And I want to offset that a little bit better, but I don't want to move all the money at once to my savings because I don't know why I don't want to. I just don't want to do that. So I tend to move it very slowly, even though it's still going to be taken out, whatever. So every month, outside of my salary, I take out $1,000 from my checking and I move it straight to my savings. So I take out literally $1,000, and that's pretty cool. I like that for me. And next thing I have is interest rates. I know I'm going to talk about this in part 2, but I can still add it onto this savings thingy right here. And this is interest rates towards my savings account only. So for my savings account, I get an interest rate of like almost 4%, like 3.8, I think. So in doing that, I get like almost, I want to say almost $80. I'm gonna say almost $80 and just interest per month. So then I make that and then go straight into my account and I don't touch it anymore. So that's pretty cool. So let's go over what I just did because I don't know if I forgot something. So my salary per month is around $5,000 after taxes, unfortunately. I'm saving money by putting like half my paycheck straight into savings, which is $2,500 combined. Monthly savings out of my checking, which is $1,000. An interest rate that is just automatically put into my account, $80. And then my base savings or base spending is groceries and eating out, which is like $140 per month. Ride shares anywhere in the around $80 per month. Public transportation can be honestly $10 per month. I don't even use public transportation like that. I only go out. And some of my fixed costs are rent, which is $11.25, give or take taxes. My insurance, which is mostly dental and medical, or dental and vision, which is like $50. Utilities, I spelled that wrong. Look at it. It's like $80 all combined. My Wi-Fi just increased today, so it's $51. And then I invest around like $100 from my account straight into my investing app. So let's go over how much I basically have. So I started off with $5,000, and then out of those $5,000, I'm actually saving $3,528. Okay, so this number is going to look a little screwed because, for one, if you look at this number, it will tell you this is how much money you have saved, and it's amazing. $3,580. Great. Okay, and then for spending, I spent $230, okay, out of that 5K. And then for fixed costs, I've also spent $1,406 out of that 5K. Now, if I was to do the math of how much I did a total spending, it would be $1,406 plus $230. Oopsie. $230. And that'll be a total of $1,636, which I'm spending per month, which isn't bad. It's not bad. Like, most of that is obviously going to be my my fixed cost that I can never change unless I literally just like leave or I don't use my AC, which is not going to happen. But if I was to subtract that from $5,000, it's probably not going to be how much I'm saving. Oh, it actually is. Well, it's a little bit under, but I actually end up saving $3,336, which is really good compared to how much it's comparative to how much I'm actually saving, which is $3,580. But I did say that a good chunk of that was from checkings to savings, and also just my interest rate that automatically increased. So if I didn't even add the interest rate, for example, because that's honestly kind of cheating. If I didn't add my interest rates and I didn't add my monthly savings, because that's also cheating just because it's not from my income, then I'm only saving like 2,500. And so of this 3,364, how much of this money actually stays in my checking account after everything has been automated and taken away? So if you subtract that from 2,500, I actually, what is going on? If you subtract that from 2,500, I actually make a total of $864 that ends up going straight back into my checking account. And that seems like a low number, but also a good chunk of my money goes straight into my savings, and everything else has been touching my checking account since then. So it looks like I'm living almost paycheck to paycheck just because of how low the number is, but I promise you, thank God, knock on wood, that I'm literally not. I started putting more money towards my savings account like a few months ago. So a lot of my money over the last 2 years has just been sitting in my checkings account. So I really haven't thought too hard about pushing more all at once into my savings. So that's why you might see like huge numbers like, yeah, I can save $2,500 in my paycheck, because I don't need all that money into my checking when I'm already gonna automate like 1125 straight into my rents, for example, or my utilities come straight out of my checkings. But yeah, this is the video of just like how much. This is just the breakdown video. It's my breakdown of my monies per month. The numbers might look a little screwed, but let's go over one last time what I'm doing. Monthly salary is 5K, point blank period. Monthly savings, if it comes from my income, is 2,500 only, right? Base spending $230, and a fixed cost is $3,406. And that's all I have for you guys today. And I will see you guys for part 2, where I break down more of how much I'm actually saving and where is that all going. Obviously my savings account, but just more of what I'm trying to do and where the goal is actually coming from, and not just me telling you this is how much money I'm going to spend every month. So I will see you guys for part 2. Bye.